the mind making his presentation. So I want to know from that, what did you learn? Be wise. What else? No, I don't get. What? Oh, somebody took a lesson yesterday. So after that, we had our next speaker, Legatari, and he made some remarks. Very productive to you. Good. What did you learn from Legatari's remarks? Kasema nini kuhusu the importance of financial management? Sema hapo pengine amesahau. Naomi, Legatari alisema nini asubuhi? Good. Hello, napenda watu wengine. Asante. He likes working with hardworking people. Then after that, we had Francis doing so much about financial management and all that. What's really learned? Yes. Create your social status. Two. Alikuwa lakini wakumbuki. Yes. Be focused. So from morning up to now, we've been handling different topics. All the way from opening the floor, we came, done financial management, discovering the opportunities. Now, I want us to handle something about business networking. Tumesomeshwa kutumia pesa. Tumefundishwa how we can be able to discover opportunities. Now, after discovering these opportunities, we also need to do some networking. I want to challenge you. Last week, when we were doing some introductions, we had several people saying that, like the guys who are sitting here, they all say they were businessmen. But when you say what to employ, have we bothered to get to know what these guys do for a living? I told you that the miner is a businessman. As anyone walks to him na akamuuliza, by the way, what do you do? Ama unamuuliza, mimi nauzaga hii na hii, mimi naweza kuuzia. Have you? As anyone, taken a contact from him, ili akitaka kujua kitu anaweza muuliza. And these are the aspects of doing business networking. When I started selling insurance back in 2015, I sold my first policies to my friends. One of them is here, my friend. They were the first people I went to because they are the people I need. They assisted me in making my circle. And that is how you start by doing your business. Regardless of what it is that you do, introduce your business to your friends. If given a chance, I interact with several of you, and I know how you interact. Even some of you, a chance unamwambia unanifanyia hivi. Hiyo story inaishia hapo. You never see them again following up what you ask them to do for you. So in return, you find yourself giving that opportunity to someone else. So, what is networking? What is networking? And we are saying that networking is the sharing of information or services between people, businesses, and groups. It's also a way of individuals to grow their relationships or their job or business. That you are building a relationship. And networking brings people together. Unajipata because of what you do, because of the services you are doing, you wanna, uh, because of those services, your family in the future becomes close to a family. Kama wewe ni fundi na yeye ako na opportunity anataka kujengewa, amekutumia, si ndio? So in the future, families become homes are family. And eventually, that's how you are going to grow your business. Where you get these networks, the groups, and other businesses. So you're saying we also have some effective business networking tips. And we say that networking is probably the most effective and the least expensive marketing method you can use to build your business or practice, especially if you do business in your local area. Papa Mulu amemention kitu hapa akasema if in this area kuna mtu anaweka maji and they identify that it is for example Kagia, wengi wanaweka maji, watu maji hapa, you become a point of reference to everyone because of you are a local person here. So si wengi wanatumia kila wakati. Then how do you grow your expertise? Ukiwa hapa. Probably tumekuja hapa, you are the area star in piping and nini. Then how do you stand out such that if there is something happening around the area maybe tutatumia probably najenga nyumba huko Ruiru. How do you then present yourself utoshee ili utake kujua daktari kwa kazi? Then how will he identify you? Ni yeye atakuwa identify ama ni wewe utakuwa identify? And those are some of the tips that I want us to look at. Because every now and then we are having some events in our areas, in our villages, but then we want to ask ourselves, how can we tap opportunities from the people who come to these events? Some of the social events, which are some of the social events that are happening within our localities? Weddings, ratio, graduations, like juices zimekuwa mingi sana. Almost each and every village had a graduation ceremony. But then ask yourself, yenye ilikuwa kwa neighbor, how did you make use of that? Sio kwenda kukula tu. How did you just make use of that? Those are some of the things I want us to look at. Number one, you choose the right venues. If you want to network, choose the right venues. Not every group of people will be right for you. Yet ni group zote zitakuwa sawa na wewe for you to network. Yeah? There are those groups that are going to, there are those venues that are going to be of benefit to you. And again, you have to match your networking skills na the venue. Kama harusi, if a wedding is happening on a Sunday somewhere, hata kama si your religious background, a wedding is a very good place where you can be able to tap some networks. Because watu wako na furaha, isn't it? What about value? What about value? Is value a good place to network? Yeah? Yeah. Someone is asking, why not? Yes, for me I will tell you yes. And I will tell you how many, in Nairobi there's a building called Corner House. The Corner House. And that building, almost each and every day, it has several rooms where we have committees. Napata hapo chini kuna bodi imeandikwa so and so funeral committee wako room 6, ingine funeral committee room 10, like 10 of them. Then kuna ingine hapo kando inachora harusi ya mtu fulani. So in the evening you want to know which is which, and because by then there was free coffee, so in the evening badala ya kungoja sana kwa line, you go and look at that list, unajaribu kuona ni nani wanapatana hapo, you go into that funeral committee. Idea hapo, then no people in the evening, the corporate guys are going to introduce themselves. Unasikia mtu anasimama, I'm John, I'm the branch manager for Equity Bank, Kimathi Street branch. Na wewe unafanyaga nini? Unauza kitu. So he is the guy to approach after that. Hapo umetoka hapo uende, you know, there are places unapata watu they are just making noise somewhere, they are seated lakini they are just discussing politics. That's not a very good place to go and do some networking. Watu kusaidia. Then you tap na kujua kwa hiyo funeral committee ama unawekwa kwa group ya WhatsApp ya hao watu, isn't it? Then how do you know who to target? Unaangalia si they are posting huyu ametoa hii pesa, sema ni kama John Mburu hapo ameandika, unaona ametoa 20k, then kuna mwingine kagia hapo 1000 nini, so na namba zao zote ziko hapo, isn't it? So as a networking person utafanya nini? Utafuata kagia ama John Mburu? Kwa nini? Because of the contribution. Then hapo you can even text him, mwambie thank you so much for, pia wewe na familia yako. Mwambie thank you so much for participating in our, labda ni mzee alikuwa amekufa, in our brother's funeral. It was great. I respond, mwambie by the way, and we have a meeting on a particular day at probably Java. Kama ametoa 20k, si mtu wa kupeleka wapi? Huko chini. Na kupeleka wapi? Nairobi ya juu. Ndio? That is how you build networks. Hiyo ni mazishi. Then there are others. Dawes, nini, yeah. You develop relationships. That's how you go selling your ideas, and you find yourself you've developed relationships. The other one, dress appropriately and professionally. Some of us, hata kama unataka kunetwork, you don't dress appropriately. Ama you're not even ready for a business deal. For example, nani? Wacha nichokoze kidogo. Baba Shiko, mama tafadhali. And then wewe kama mko. If you have to look at these two people, and you are the person organizing for the deputy president or the president is coming in Nakuru, na umeambiwa itakuwa haraka. Between these two gentlemen, utaita nani? Utaita nani? Baba Shiko, sindio? Why? He is smart, he is a presentable. Utamtoa hata kiongozi zaidi kupeleka State House, he doesn't think change. Lakini huyu kama wewe ni soldier kwa building fulani na watu wanaingia, between the two people, ni nani utasachi haraka? Utakuja hapa kama kuna kitu, lakini kwa hiyo unamwambia leo sasa tafadhali pita, because you respect the dress code. Please have a seat. Thank you. We are saying dress appropriately, such that when you approach someone, they respect who you are, and they say dress the way you want to be addressed. If you want to be addressed well, dress well. Hata kama wewe unajua, even if you are an expert, even if you are an expert, you will not be given work. I remember there is a time when we were selling insurance. I think Grogon, a very informal sector in Nairobi, when you wanna do huko. And the first time nafika huko, we had just started making some few money. And kila time we thought of wearing a suit, always. So mimi nimenyonga na suit, katai na folder. I was very happy. But then unafika huko chini Grogon, jamani nakuangalia hii, unafikia hapo ndio KRA. Nakuondokea. Why? You are dressed well but in the wrong place. So we realize the only way unaweza uza policies huko Grogon, you dress like them. But what if you dress like them, alafu ukuje kwa ofisi huku juu? Mind you, hata huwezi fika. Unaweza pata hata umeshikiwa huko katikati. Askari akikuangalia hivi tu anaona hapana, this guy doesn't do well. Unajipata you've lost that opportunity. So that's why we are saying you dress appropriately. If you want to network properly. But again, there are people who confuse between wearing being smart and expensive. You can wear something cheap, but then you are smart. That's the thing. Be smart. Be professional. See, lazima ati uvae kiatu ya 3,000, juu trouser ya 4,000, umevaa 10K, but then someone else can be smart wearing only 300, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the thing. Be prepared. Always be prepared for anything. If there is an opportunity comes up, someone is able to give you because you are ready. And yesterday we had a night chat. There's a time I watched this documentary, the So People documentary. How many people have watched that documentary? So People, Escape from So People. It's a very educative documentary. And for those of you who watched, you remember when I think it was the first or the second train, when it arrived, then wanaseparatiwa the old watoto wakae pande moja. And there are these two brothers with their father. When the instructor comes and anauliza who can do goldsmith, this guy says very fast, yes, I do. And the instructor anamwangalia hivi anaona bana, this guy is young, but the guy realizes, hapana, if I don't show myself up, itaenda kuchomwa. And he says, yes, I can. And jamaa anamwangalia hivi, then kanamfungulia nini jacket, akona all the tools, this side, hata kwa miguu. And then he was picked. Wewe kuja pande hii, umepita. What if this guy was not ready? Ama anasema tu I'm just ready, but never had a single tool. Baba Moro, do you think this guy would have been successful? Angeenda kuchomwa. And that is what we need to do. Be ready for any opportunity. Any given opportunity, you are there. Be ready. I remember there is someone, and I know they are here. There's someone I gave an assignment. Sometimes, but I don't know, labda ni yeye. But allow me to just use that example. I noted she's a very good dressmaker. Nikamwambia, why don't you do one or even two for my wife? So that was a direct sale. And nilimwambia hivyo in front of my wife. Why don't you do that? Up to date. Hata nipigia simu, hata sema anything, that was a direct sale. Na ingekuwa mzuri, I refer her to I have sisters, I have in-laws, unaenda umempitishia. Ndio, wakimuuliza nani alikutengenezea hii? Ni Naomi. but she lost that business. Na si yeye peke yake. Wapi Njeri? Esther, is it okay? Is it correct? Did I give her an opportunity? Yes or no? Yes. Hata leo nitaipigia simu. You see, what I'm trying to say, be ready. An opportunity comes up. Na inua mkono juu. Niko. Nani atafanya hii? Ni mimi. Nishafika. You can't afford to lose an opportunity, and yet you have the skills. Ulienda shule, you studied this. Opportunity kanatoka, you are not even sure you want to pick that opportunity. Pick it. No. You ask questions and listen. Umeenda mahali you've identified someone is the director of a certain company. There. Ask questions. Skiza. Don't talk too much. Listen too much. Don't tell them so much about what you do, but listen to their ideas. Let them tell you what you can do. Ukienda hapo unamwambia, you know what I do, I'm a dressmaker. Then they can start giving you more ideas on how you can be able to grow your business. Number 6, you sit with people you don't know. And you see that did not happen when we came. When we came in the morning and we sat, when we were doing some introductions, unapata colleges, watu wanatoka Karoleni, au wengine Umoja, au wengine Rongai. You've known each other for very many years. Why don't you get to know? Would it have been a harm if someone came and sat here, wakae na baba Gitari? Kuna mtu angeulizwa swali? Yeah? Sit with the people you don't know. It is out of these people you don't know, you are going to get ideas. Lakini if it's an event, unapata Naomi wanakaa na Sarah. These two are friends. I can bet you hakuna kitu watasaidiana in that particular event, isn't it? But what if Naomi kuja wakae na this gentleman here na hawajuani? Si wataulizana, what do you do? Na mimi, I do this. No. Namwambia, by the way, niko na harusi next month. Nani anapewa kazi? Niwe Naomi. Yes. That's what we're talking about. Let us be positive. Hata ukienda mahali, angalia mtu. How do you notice them? The way they are dressed. Unaona mtu amekuja na gari na kadi. Huyo mtu na time. Huyo ndiye mtaenda kukaa na yeye. You spend the day with this person. Isn't it? Talk to people who are standing alone. Ushaenda kwa event and you notice kuna watu hawapendi kukaa na watu. Jamaa sekurudi mahali tu akiwa peke yake, anasikiza akiwa kando. That guy is not distracted. Just walk to them. Excuse me, sir. Can I join you? And because umevaa vizuri hukai kumuomba, because again, that is another problem. Akikuangalia hivi anaona ni room tu, atakuja kuniomba. So mnakaa chini, I'm so and so, and this is what I do. But then, how again do you start? How do you even present yourself? Do you have a business card? Naomi, do you even have a business card? You know, professionalism of kind. Do you have a business card? That ukikuja uniambie, you do this and this, I can give you my business card. Ndio. How much does it cost to have 50 business cards? How much? It is 200 bob to have 50. And that alone can create your opportunity. huyu mtu in the first place ukimtolea business card. Hata Baba Shiko, how do you feel? Mtu anakuletea business card, labda hata kwa parking anakwambia mimi huwa naosha gari, this is my card. How do you feel? Unamchukulia very serious person. Next time hata ukienda mahali unapigia tu simu. By then nimepata mahali kuna opportunity, can you try? Because this person is ready, they are presentable. Wale watu walisema hapa mnafanya biashara. In those businesses that you do, how many people, ni watu wangapi wanakaa yeye? Ni watu wangapi wanaweza lala hivi asikie kuna opportunity ya kupita? Do they even know you exist? You know, but I need to have it that when I'm going through my business cards, I keep remembering you move on politely, because you need to talk to the other person. Don't spend all your time with one person. Utambo. And you know, these people mtu wamekaa kando, they are serious people. Utambo. So you go talk to them very few minutes, then excuse yourself. Ujiambie utoke. No. There's always a meme in a way inatembea internet. Na inauliza, how can you tell your friend amekuja kwako usiku, unataka kumwambia atoke aende, but in a polite way? How can you tell that? Unaweza mwambia ni usiku baba mburu saa 4 ako kwako na huoni hana dalili za kutoka, na wewe unataka kulala na hutaki kumwambia atoke aende politely. Umepatana na mtu kama huyo, amekuja lakini hana dalili za kutoka, wakiwa tayari hata vile umesumbuana na suppliers watu wasimba cement watu wake, au ni mtaka politely anamuuliza kama ana intend kulala ama aspend. Angeli, ukifika utaambia mtu aje, mtu akipata kwa hostel, unasoma, you are preparing for an exam. Don't you tell these people, hey, manze, jitoe, jikae. Unaanza kujisomea, kama huko unataka. And this is what we are talking about. Jua kujikata, know when to leave, know when to excuse yourself. Usikae hapo na mtu unampea story lakini alafu read the signals. Unajua kuna watu hawajui gari kienda hivi, then unataka kuexit pale. Unatoa signal, unaingia. There are drivers behind, hajaona hiyo indicator. Then ukiingia ndio unasikia amekugonga from behind. Hajasoma indicator. You also need to run indicators. Huyo mtu ameboeka na wewe, unamuuliza kitu alafu unasikia ati tulikuwa tunasema na mkwanyini wawili, that guy is not listening to you. Hata akili yake haiko hapo, unafaa ujiambie ufanye nini. Yaani thing ushaiona mtu unampea story na kwa simu hakuangalii, hasikizi vile unasema. How do you feel? Unafaa sasa uanze kujiambia, read the signs. Ati imefika time yangu ya kuji. So and then the way you can be able to minimize that, have very minimal time na wewe. Such that ukimwambia unaenda, anaweza kwambia uko busy sana, mkakae kidogo. Because amekusikiza uko na content. What do you have in mind? What will make Baba Shiko aache his busy schedule, na akupe 30 minutes, ukae na yeye somewhere sitting discussing. What do you think can give him that motivation? Angela, what can make me spend my 30 minutes listening to you? I see you at you mgonjwa ama nini, but I spare my time listening to you. So much because of the content that you have. That Kachini is something we are discussing. It's something we are coming up with. Kitu tunachora, we are planning. Huyo mtu hata mkikaa chini na yeye huwezi kuweka. And then you give to get. Again, it is coming out in the fourth topic from what we learned from Baba Shoi asubuhi, that you give opportunities. Labda mimi ni mtu I deal with stima, na wewe una deal na pipi. For now, I don't have an opportunity ya stima, but I have a friend of mine anahitaji. Instead of kumwambia sijui, they refer you to them directly, now connect. Give one candle. A candle can never go off because of lighting the others. Learn to give, and I insist again, give. Then finally, we do follow-ups. Again, there are these people when you ukipata opportunities, unaenda unapatana na mtu fulani, then you forget about these people and they disappear with opportunities. Like my friend Naomi, they require opportunity, but she never followed up, and you lose a business. Lack of follow-up can make you lose big time. Always keep in touch, but again, how do you follow them up? Ushaiona, you wake up in the morning, unajipata kwa group ya kumbetea harusi ya mtu fulani mwenye hata hujui. Have you ever done that? How do you feel? You are never consulted. Alafu Baba Shiko asubuhi unapata umewekwa kwa group ya WhatsApp ya kamiti ya mtu fulani. Do you even participate? Because they never did it professionally. So mkipatana na huyo mtu, thank them for their time. And then if you have an important material that they can read, unawapea. Request them. I have a certain article I would want to share with you. You read it, then see if it's beneficial. So it's courtesy. Other than waking up in the morning, like for me, I use emails so much, even that I can respond to your emails very fast than the way I can respond to your text message. So, naingia then unapata kuna emails kama 10 presentations after presentation. It's annoying. No. But if you had requested me that you're going to send a certain email, ama kuna kitu tutanitumia nisome, I'll be expecting that. And I'll pay attention. And that way sitakuweka. If I find it okay, then I can tell you, hey, if you get another article kama hiyo, nitumie. So you umeanza to engage. Are you telling me with that engagement, if I have an opportunity, then you will always consider this person. And I remember one day I did a presentation somewhere in GSU or Google Waraka. And I met this guy, he's a very senior GSU officer. Then after that, I lost my phone, I lost his contacts. This guy too lost my business card. So hatukupatana. 3 years later, someone from our office went to the same guy to do a presentation. The first question was, kuna kijana kanakwanga huko kwenu karefu bibi kipamba. He tried to describe that lady. Akamuuliza, are you talking about Sharon? Yes. Mwambia, before I buy your product, enda uniletee huyo kijana hapa. Because there's a presentation I had done, and because of how we interacted, he kept the presentation in mind. I sold my policy na akanunulia hawa wengine. So we both benefit. So make sure by the time you are leaving someone, by the time unaachana na mtu, make sure they have something to remember you for in a positive way. Otherwise, you'll be so discouraging that umekaa na mtu for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you've not gained anything, even a single thing. Hakuna kitu umetoa kwa mind. That way, you become a useful person in the society. That way, you become someone who can add value in yourself and with the people who depend directly or indirectly on you. Yeah, and that marks the end of my presentation by discussing business networking. There are quite a number of them. I know we're going to have some more time, maybe later in the session, not today, not even tomorrow, but maybe we can have some more. And I would wish to end there, unless there's a question concerning that topic.
Yes. Question?
Okay, I want to ask maybe somehow personal relating to you and maybe your experience. Is that first time you thought of maybe your career, you started networking? There is that fear that somebody might think, huyu mtu ataniona aje, or we think of something. Okay, I know most of us wanaweza kuwa tuko in a position, tunasikia by now naweza taka ku network sana, but the moment you think of, okay, this like huyu ni mtu highly maybe professional, kuna ile fear first approach na naweza fikiria aje kuhusu. How did you deal with that, you personally?
I think I have another one, please. The answer two. Yes. What is your take, or what's your feeling about this topic we talked about, networking, and being truthful? Okay, I think networking is between two people, not between yourself. Of course, second party, third party, or maybe the party. If it's in sincerity in any one of them, how do you take it? Or how do you go about it?
I'll answer that. So, can you be able to pass the mic?
Niko na swali ningetaka kuuliza. In the name of networking, I myself have not been in a position to get anyone that I'm coming across. Ndio nikae na nisijipate kwa taabu ama kwa shida. I can maybe interacting with a lady, maybe a gentleman, whom I hardly know. Ndio nisijipate kwa shida. How can I escape this one? I need to do business. Sasa unajaribu kunielewa? Maybe in a hotel. Ile yenye ulisema choose the right venues. maybe unaweza kuwa unaona hii ndio mzuri. Some professions do require ama do find it worthy to meet in the hotels. Na wewe pengine unajua sasa hapa tunaongea mambo ya imani na ujui wenye unaenda kupata huko nje. Maybe ya kanivas. Sasa mimi nitajitoaje kwa hiyo shida na ninawahitaji bado. Save me from that.
I think let me start with that one and see if I've got you right. And let me try to expound. You're talking say the venues. You want to there's an event happening somewhere, say like in Sarova Woodlands, isn't it? And you want to go there. In such a case, you have to be very skeptical because some venues are invited guests only, if I got you right, and you cannot get crashed. So I'm specifically talking about social events, one that doesn't require you to have a certain gate pass, one that doesn't requires you to sign somewhere that you've entered. But again, there are those social events that even if you meet someone, they don't have an issue. Number two, it is also again now to take yourself again as a messianic and ask yourself, where am I meeting these people? Because again, we might meet in a certain venue today, like we meet in a wedding, and again, this is where at some point honest and truthful, like he has asked, comes in. Where am I going to meet you next? Yeah? Because again, naweza kuambia, you might find someone, a very different person, is a very serious man, but again, anakuambia, tupatane wapi? Yeah? Tupatane kwa bar. How do you then address that? You have to put your integrity, your beliefs must come first. That yes, there are places I cannot even feel comfortable going to. No. So I don't know if I'm addressing your concern, if I got you right. Have I? Yeah? Yeah, thank you. The other one, something about fear. There are people you need to approach, but again, you are not certain on how you are going to approach them. On my own personal experience, one thing, and those who works in that line can tell you. I know Esther can attest to that. The way you dress easily speaks on who you can approach and who you cannot approach. That was my first way of approach. I knew in a suit I could enter in each and every office without anyone looking at me suspiciously. And you know, again, it requires you to have a certain percentage of madness in a way, if I may call it so. Kuwa na kadegree kidogo, kakaugoroki kidogo, you know. Have small. That you need to see that person. Otherwise, Mama bro, you work in a government office. Nimefika hapo kwa entrance. I'm here to see John. Naulizwa, do you have an appointment with John? And I know ile kitu nataka anisaidie nayo, he is the only person who can assist. I know nikisema hapana, I will not enter that place. What will you do? And you have to make sure that you see him. Si unataka passport immediately. Na unataka kumuona, what will happen? Uko na appointment. Uko na appointment. Yes. I said, comfortably? Yes. And that is how I met that GSU guy. Yes. Mkubwa anaku-expect. Ndio, yes. Sasa hapo, akitaka kukataa, akatae. But you know, there's also, again, something about psychology. That if you are confident with what you are doing, then this other person will not suspect that you are not sure with what you are talking about. So anakwambia ni sawa basi, you sign the register, the visitors book, uingie. The most important thing, it is to have confidence in what you are doing. Confidence at the end of the day wins the game. If I believe in what I'm doing, I will go to each and every office. It is a question of kujiamini. Najua Baba Shua, I think he might not be aware of. No, there is a time when we were in college, and I'm sure mnajua Zach. Si mnajua Zach? Zach is my good friend. Tumesoma naye college, we stayed in the same room. And I remember one day tumekaa kwa nyumba hivi na tunajiuliza so na Sunday morning, so tunakaa chini, tulikuwa tunataka kwenda kutembelea Baba Shiko. But then we were like sisi students na elder. How do we approach that? And I remember very well, Zaka kaniambia hebu mpigie simu wewe. I was not sure if I should call him or not. But then nikajipea kanguvu. Baba Shiko, unajua hii story hujui. Nikampigia simu, but luckily ni Sunday, most of the Sunday simu yake inakuanga off, maybe hapo kitu saa 5 hapo. So tulipiga tukapata iko mteja. Then later in the day akafungulia simu. Si alipata, I tried calling him. Akapiga simu. Zaka akiwa upstairs, mimi niko huku chini. Zaka ananiambia mzee amepiga simu. Shika, anataka kunirushia simu. Uoga inamuingia, like, you know, tulikuwa tumeanza tu kutaka kujuana na watu hivi. I had just come to Nairobi, so ni ile tu nataka kujuana na watu. No, kidogo hivi. And I remember that day nilikuwa nafua nguo huko chini. Tumeenda tumekaa kwa ni ile unakaa kidogo. You gain some confidence. Ndio nikashika simu. Lakini ile kutetemeka, it was the first time to talk to him on phone. So out of that, I think vile tena aliongea nikasikia hata hana maneno. Ndio akatamwambia nyinyi kujeni anytime, kujeni. Tukapanda mata hapo teketeke hata tukufua nguo tena. Again tusimcheleweshe. So we went there, we had a very good day, and that's what I mean. Have tried to build some confidence for the first time, and I'm going to say this with a lot of confidence. Jana si kuna kale ka uoga, for us who are there was that ka uoga. Ni muongereshi atasema nini, ataniambia nini? That is exactly the same thing that happens in business. You want to approach someone pole, and eventually you will find yourself there. It is not a one day event. Building confidence, hata wale watu wanaongea sana, they can tell you they never made it in one day. Today you can write to anyone, even an official mail. You can write a letter to the president directly, because you have mastered the art of confidence. If this guy calls you, yes, I want to see so and so, it is not a one day event, but if you master the art of gaining confidence, you can be able to make it. I don't know, have I addressed your concern? The other question was about, please come again. Ama huko katikati nimejibu?
No,
oh.
You have not. I want to hear, in networking, I expect sincerity. What you tell me is what I expect from you. Suppose that's not the case.
So you are.
What's your take in that, or how would you go about that?
Me approaching you.
Yes. Or not the networking itself. don't know. See, there's someone getting out of the mic. I must be in networking. Sorry, once again, I'm talking of networking, and which we have just listened is constitutional. And I know in networking, it's a question of parties. One service another one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, whatever number that they reach. And I'm sure networking may not work if there's no sincerity, there's no truthfulness. So I'm wondering, now that you've talked to us or indicated to us is that networking, and the worst happens, there's no truthfulness in any of the parties. How do you take that, or how would you address such?
Let me answer that to my understanding. And it's a complex question, but I'm trying to understand it. Yes, in line of networking, you'll face some people who are not who they are, or who don't present themselves as who they are. You find someone maybe dressed properly, but later on you realize these people are very different. I think the question of belief and your integrity levels, again, you have to know not everyone is interested with what you do. Like today I'm a marketer, isn't it? I sell different services, or I discharge several duties to those who do services. But then, even as I expect results from my juniors, I also have to put it in mind that not everyone is interested in their services. So, as I expect my KPIs to be met, I also have to factor in that there is a certain percentage of people who are not interested with what we do as a company, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm coming through the same line that you want me to go through. Bado naona
Unajua jaribu kujibu kidogo. Kwa biashara, you take chances. There is always that. Sometimes you take chances. There are no angels. You are dealing with human beings. So if you stay in your school that you will not go around, you will not do a networking because you fear people might not be faithful. Who told you are getting angels there in the business world? There are groups, there are good people, but it is through your knowledge and experience of business that will take you to that level of knowing who to deal with after talking to a person and realizing his potential or non-potential. You know where to move, where to put your money, where not to put your money. But you must take chances, always in a business. But you should take care that either 70 or you don't take risk, so much risk. You weigh the risk. You know, if you see the risk is over 50%, you pull. In business, risk should be not more than 20 or 30. You don't take risk, much risk. Okay? So ukitoka kwa biashara unakuta watu ya kila aina, na hauna wale umewekewa hawa ndio wazuri utafanya biashara na hawa. You take chances, and that is how people excel.
that way you become someone who can add value in yourself and with the people who depend directly or indirectly on you. Sindio? Yeah, and that marks the end of my presentation. We're discussing business networking. There are quite a number of them. I know we're going to have some more time, maybe later in the session, not today, not even tomorrow, but maybe we can have some more.